Hello everyone, I'm Crystal with Whole New Perspective. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Today I am going to be talking about preparedness. You all know there have been several hurricanes over the past few weeks. And Hurricane Helene was actually close to my area. Now, I'm from the foothills, so I've had several family members and friends that were affected, but certainly not like the Western North Carolina. So guys, I had family and friends, reaching out to me, wanting to know what to do, wanting to make some confirmations on if they were doing things that were correct, and ask me if I could come back and start sharing more about preparedness. And so that's why I'm here today, to talk to people that may be beginning their preparedness journey. First thing I want to say is that it's absolutely not too late to start preparing. Every day that you wake up and get up is another day, and it's just not too late, okay? So just keep that in mind. One of the things I want to say is please do not panic. Don't panic. I certainly want to send out my thoughts and prayers to all of those that lost their lives in this storm. I do have a friend whose spouse's family did not survive. So I just want you all to know that I'm thinking about you, I'm praying for you and your family. Now guys, for those of us that are here, we really need to make sure that we are preparing. And if you are preparing for a hurricane, you are prepared for probably most things. And that is if you're preparing to shelter in place. Now, if you have to leave your home, that's an entirely different level of preparedness. And we'll talk about that later on, but not today. I want to talk to those that are just beginning to prepare and the things that I would say that you should be preparing for. And then I will talk about some of the conversations that I've had with my family and some of my friends during during Hurricane Helene and things that they experienced. Because remember, many people just were not prepared to be without power or prepared to have the hurricane so far inland. And so I had many friends and family that were without power, some for up to a week without power. One of the things that I want to say to you again is do not panic. Don't be afraid. Just prepare the best way that you can. Make sure that you have water. Water is extremely important to have. Water. You're going to need some food. But with that food, you're going to need food that you can open and just eat without heating. Now, if you are fortunate enough to be able to have a propane stove or generators, that's a whole nother level too. And it's great to have that. But then you're going to need, if it's solar, you're going to need solar panels. You're going to need to have some sun out. If it's propane or gas, natural gas, you're going to need to have that heating source as well. So if you don't have any of that, make sure that you have some canned goods or things that you can just open up and eat straight out of the can, out of the jar. Make sure that you have those things. Those things will definitely help you. And then medications. You want to make sure that you have your prescription medications, because as many people found out, the pharmacies, the stores, they just were not open. They didn't have any power either. And so they were not open. So make sure that you are on top of getting prescriptions. Go as early as you can to renew your prescriptions. Do that. And that way you can have an extra buffer. That's very important. And then have your over-the-counter medications, things that you will need to manage pain, and if you have allergies, things that you will need for that. Now, I will do more in-depth
videos on these things, and I do have many videos, and I'll put those videos at the end on how to survive without power, water, those sorts of things, different ways that you can have water. So I'll add those to the end, but I want to make sure that first and foremost that you don't panic. So get up every day and try to do something towards preparedness, even if it's something as simple as your health. You know, doing a little exercise, something like that. Take a little walk, clear out your mental health as well. So just try to do something every day that will help you along your preparedness. So guys, if you have followed me, you know that I love making lists. I love making lists. It's important for me to have a list that allows me to be able to go through, see the things that I need to do, things that I want to purchase, things that I need to purchase, and to check those things off of my list as I get them. And that's going to be important for you to see what you have in your home, see the things that you need in your home, and that way you can also set yourself a budget. You can set yourself a budget. So some of the stories that I heard, we had friends that, of course, they were not prepared and they needed to go out. And this was in the foothill. So think about this. There's no power. So you have people that just were not prepared. They're out trying to get things. So this means that the stoplights are not working. So we had friends that ended up in car accidents. Now, thankfully, they were not seriously hurt. But just think about that. You have people that are out there in a panic because they don't have things at home that they may need. So go ahead and get those things in advance. And then also we had a friend that recognized and realized had to have some cash. Any of the stores that were open were requiring cash because, again, they didn't have the systems in place. Now, where I'm from, we have a lot of stores, a lot of grocery stores, Ingles, and they are based out of Asheville. And so they were hit pretty hard in Asheville. So the local stores, they did not have power, and then they certainly didn't have a lot of food. But then some were allowing up to 10 people at a time into the stores to get things, but they needed cash. So please make sure that you keep some cash on hand, because think about this, the ATMs, none of those things were working. Banks weren't open, so you weren't able to get any of that. So you just want to be prepared in advance to think about those things. Those are a few things. I'm just looking at my list just to see if I've gone over a few things that I wanted to talk about. And we'll talk about later about a bug out bag or a get home bag. Those things are separate. Most of us we really want to stay home and shelter in place if we can. So I want to talk more about those things that we'll need. Now remember, get your food. Make sure you have some water. And if you don't have any other things for grid down, like generators, any type of generators, make sure that you're getting food that you can open the can and eat. Make sure that you have a manual can opener. Make sure that you have a manual can opener. Now, people were going out, and in my area, and my daughter, she's in the Greensboro area, and we weren't hit as hard, but people were going out and getting all this toilet paper. They were clearing shelves, guys. They were clearing shelves. So it's important that you do have a backup. Even if you just have one backup, that's a start. And just continue to build off of those things. And as you use them, replace it with two. Now, I know that people are having a difficult time financially, and it's hard to be able to go out and purchase all this stuff. That's why you just need to do what you can a little at a time. Even if it means getting 1 can of beans when you go to the store, get an extra can of beans, that's doing something. So do that, and just continue to get a can of beans each time you go. Get you some rice, get you some pasta, get some things that don't require a lot of any heat, some things that may not require water, because you need water. You need lots of water. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put the videos that I have at the very end of this. And I just ask my playlist that you go ahead and look at those. Any questions that you may have, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll be here to answer those questions, and I will start to do more videos on preparedness, because that's one of the things that my family and friends have asked me to do. And I am looking forward to being able to help anyone that I can help. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you would, please give my video the thumbs up, and I'll bring more videos to you. Let me know the things that you are interested in the preparedness way, and I'll be glad to share the knowledge that I have. This has been a way of life for me most of my life. If you don't know, I grew up in a family of 10. My parents, it was a way of life for us. We were prepared for everything. Matter of fact, I still have some of the lanterns, the oil lanterns that my parents had. And they heated back then or used kerosene. And there's some kerosene out there now. And so I can certainly use those lanterns still if I want to. I have my own lanterns that are not kerosene based. But there are just so many ways and things that we can do, and we can learn from many years of experience. So I'm excited to be able to come and share these things with you. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me. And again, my thoughts and prayers are with all of those that have been affected by these hurricanes. There will be many more storms to come in our lives. So we just want to make sure that we are ready and prepared for those storms.